So Tortuga is updating one of their most feature-rich travel bags in their lineup. These are the Tortuga Pro Travel Backpacks V2, and I have the 40 liter as well as the 34 liter. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about all of the new updated redesign changes, as well as the differences between the 40 liter and the 34 liter. And as always, I'm gonna share my honest thoughts, opinions, and experience in using both of these bags. So let's get into it. When it comes to travel bags, Tortuga has always been one of my favorites. You know, years ago, I was able to get my hands on a 35 liter Outbreaker, and I thought that was a really good travel backpack. So it's really good to see that Tortuga is still continuing to redefine on what a good travel bag is. Now I have the 40 liter here packed out for this review, and we're gonna revisit here in a little bit on the 34 liter. But one of the biggest changes to this redesign is gonna be on the interior of the main compartment. So just like most Tortuga bags, to get into this one, it is going to be a suitcase style of opening clamshell bag. And in the interior here is where we're gonna have our first two changes from the V1 model. Now on the lid, we do have two separate pockets now. On the version 1, we kind of had just that one giant pocket where you could put all sorts of things. So now we got two individual pockets here, and they have a lot of depth to them. You can use them as packing cubes. And on this side here, I actually have them packed out as such. I've got 7 pairs of socks in this one. And then in the top one, I also used it like a compression packing cube, and I just put 7 pairs of underwear there. So I have this bag currently packed out on what I would take for a 2-week trip. Obviously, laundry is going to be involved there, but here I have my socks and underwears, and then on this side, I just have my toiletry kit. This is my Pioneer Global. That's going to be my tech kit. And then I have my Westbreeze packing cubes. Now these are a pack and hang system, so you can kind of hang these up in a closet like a hanging wardrobe, and they actually connect together. My favorite packing cubes by far. I'll drop a link in the description to these. There's also a discount code if you use them, but awesome packing cubes. So in this main compartment, we have this nice light colored ripstop material. It's very similar to what I saw on the Tortuga Superlight that I just reviewed about a month ago. Nice premium material. And this is where the second change of the bag is going to happen up from V1. So this bag's main compartment is going to make up about 80% of the bag's overall depth. That's up from 70%. So you're going to have more packing volume in the main compartment. And my packing cubes, the Westbreeze ones, had no trouble fitting into it. These are 2 of the large packing cubes, and lots of clothing can fit in there. And then even my Pioneer Global Tech pouch, as well as my Gravel Slim toiletry kit, fit into this main compartment without issue. Now on the lid, you do have a lot of room, and I use them for socks and underwears, but this lid is also going to be like a big sandwich. And once we get into the outer compartments, we'll talk about how all this volume affects this lid. So super simple interior, just the 2 zipper pockets, and that's pretty much it. I really like the fact that 80% of the bag's overall depth is dedicated to the main compartment. It's gonna make this bag very versatile to all sorts of trips, especially if you're packing for a winter situation and you gotta carry those bigger, you know, bulkier jackets and gloves and things of that nature. So I like that. If you're looking for more organization, it's gonna be really dependent on your own packing system. So that's why I've got the packing cubes, tech kit, dock kit, that sort of thing. So it really appeals to a packer or a person who packs like me, and if you're one of those, I think you're going to really enjoy the interior layout as much as I did. So closing up this main compartment is where I ran into my very first nitpick with this bag, and I assure you it's just so minor, but it's something that I noticed time and time again, especially when using this bag, is that there are no counter pulls anywhere to help you grip this bag and kind of get around these corners. Now that's because I have it packed out so fully. If it's not so packed out, you can round these corners so simple, but like right here where I have the bulk of my gear, getting this bag closed, you definitely need to grip it and then push down to get it closed, and that's really my fault because of the way I have it packed out. But it would have been nice to have a little nylon, you know, pull somewhere where I can just help close these zippers up on the main compartment. But once you get around the corners, it's just fine. I guess your mileage is going to vary depending on how you pack the bag out. I have this thing super stuffed. Overall weight of this bag right now is sitting at 25.2 pounds. So this is what I would take for an extended period of travel. I usually don't travel like that anymore, but I just wanted to show you the capacity of this 40 liter bag. So even though there were no nylon counter pulls on the bag, I really like the fact that Tortuga put extra long zipper pullers on the main compartment. They kind of use this paracord with heat shrink on it, kind of like Goruck. I really like these style of zipper pullers, and everywhere else in the bag you're gonna have these little metal tab style of zipper pullers. But this was exclusive to just the 40 liter. On the 34 liter version of the bag, we didn't have those long zipper pulls. We had these little tabs all the way around the bag, and they weren't exactly my favorite. That's going to be a really big nitpick for me, because I did find my hands slipping through these metal pulls, and sometimes they were just a little hard to get a hold of here. So I really wish they would have implemented the longer pulls over to the smaller version. Now you can cut these zipper pullers off. They are metal, but they will come off, and then you can put your own paracord zipper pulls on there. So not impossible to change out, but it will require a little bit of work. And because of all of these compartments do meet relatively close to each other, it's easy to get confused which one is your main, your adamant, and your top quick access pocket. So my brain won't let me park all my zippers in different positions so I could know. They kind of all just naturally group together by the end of the day, so that's really on me. But I do wish we would have seen some different zipper pulls on this one. Well, now that I got both bags back on the table, let's talk about their overall aesthetic. Now, Tortuga has never been known to have a wild aesthetic. They've always been relatively conservative. Even with that old Outbreaker bag I had, it was a more boxier, but still relatively conservative. So here we continuing that with a more rounded look to the bag. It is very clean, sleek, and minimal, and I can easily see where somebody can say this could be a boring design, but this design here is something I actually look for in a travel bag. I don't want to bring a lot of attention to myself. I don't want to raise any alarms about the camera gear or expensive stuff that I'm carrying in this bag. So clean, sleek, and minimal is actually what I prefer when I travel. So I really do like the overall aesthetic of these two bags here. But because of their rounded nature, and depending on how you pack it out, they have a tendency to want to lean forward and kind of face plant. So I dealt with that a lot here, especially with the loadout that I have currently in this bag, that because you can put so many things into the lid, it makes it kind of top heavy. So your mileage may vary, but more times than not, the rounded design typically wanted to face plant on me. Now, if the bag does face plant on you, no need to worry on the bag's durability. The primary fabric on these bags here is an EPX 200. That is a laminated material, so it's gonna make this bag waterproof. Now, the bag itself is not gonna be waterproof, but the material is waterproof. And they paired it up with a YKK PU coated zipper on all compartments on this bag. So this PU coating is gonna give you some extra weather resistance to your compartment. On the downside to PU coated zippers and the laminated material, you could experience delamination, but there's so many factors involved in delamination, like UV, how much UV exposure, heat, humidity. So you're somebody who may never see those issues for the lifetime of the bag, or you could see them in a few years, really depending on how and where you travel and store these bags. And if you're worried about pet hair and dust, because of this smoothness of material, it's going to be easily cleaned off with just a damp rag. So relatively low maintenance material in my opinion. Now, because it is a laminate, you may see some of the X patterning in the bags. And as it patinaed over time, that cross ply that's embedded in the layers of this laminate may not appeal to you. It may become more prominent, more pronounced as this bag ages. It's a look that I don't mind, but just something to be aware of in case you're not familiar with these laminate fabrics. So the next area improvement from V1 is going to be on the exterior here. You're going to have two stretch water bottle pockets on each side. These have also been enlarged, and now they are stretch material. So even with this bag fully packed out with 2 weeks worth of gear, I have my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler, fits into that pocket, no problem at all. I mean, just you can probably fit your larger 32-ounce. And then on this side here is going to make a great place for an umbrella, smaller tripod or something like that. Now you do have the carry handle here in the way of the pocket, but again, if you set it up like that, bottle on one side, smaller item on this side, it's not going to be an issue. And the handle is also in another area of improvement over V1. We have this nice padded grab handle on the side to help maneuver the bag, as well as a matching one up top there. No issues getting underneath it, plenty of room to get your hand underneath it, and very nice handle. And I was disappointed not to see a little loop on the back here so you could hang the bag, because I don't want to deform these handles, but it is what it is. If you're going to be maneuvering this bag, you're not going to have any issues with the new and improved handles. Since the interior was super simple, Tortuga has kind of left these outside pockets to organize your gear. So we can demonstrate for you the outermost pocket. It's going to be a side quick access pocket right here on the front of the bag. So in theory, you could swing this bag around and get into this pocket, but even the 34 liter, I think these bags are too big to swing around in my opinion. So I don't really see the benefit of a side access pocket, but it is there if you are one of those people to do so. Now that side pocket is huge. It takes up pretty much this entire space here. Now it's not going to have any additional internal organization on the inside, so it's just a really big dump pocket. But just to show you the volume, some of the stuff that I put in there, I was able to stuff my entire AirPods Max. Now these headphones don't fold down, but not only were they able to fit in there, I could easily get them in and out. And you have to keep in mind that, remember, this lid pocket shares volume with the interior. So I packed 7 pairs of socks, 7 pairs of underwears, plus I have my DOP kit and my tech kit pushing all into this pocket, and I'm still able to slip these in and out relatively frictionless. And it's just wild how much volume is dedicated into this lid alone. Now the only other thing in here I kept was like a portable fan because it's just so hot, but just great place to store bigger, bulkier gear, and if you need quicker access to something like large over the ear headphones. So that's pretty much all I kept in that front quick access pocket. But you do have an additional admin pocket up here at the top, and it's, you know, when I first saw this admin pocket and saw how far the zippers come down to the side, I thought that was pretty amazing. Not only you do have more additional volume here. Now, so if you wanted to stuff like a jacket, you could put something large in here. Now, because I'm using the interior for socks and underwears and the exterior for my headphones and that portable fan, it really limited the space in here. So all I kept down there was my notebook. But this admin panel does come all the way down. So if you wanted to stuff some smaller gear in there, you can still continue to do so. So this is where another change happened here in the admin compartment. So let's get to the overhead cam here for this section. So Tortuga has really cleaned up the layout of this admin pocket. In the previous version 1, you had all of these card slots. So now that is gone. So you do have a zippered compartment here, a larger one that takes up this area, a smaller one here, and then one elastic pocket here. So I don't put my power bank in my tech kit because this is something I want quicker access to. So this is the perfect layout for this giant 2500 milliamp power bank from INIU. 100 watts of charging, can charge my laptop up pretty quick. So want access to it there. And then you have a smaller pocket here. And this is where I put my favorite passport wallet ever. This is the one from Allett. Great place to put foreign currency, your currency. You got a pen, a couple of card slots. Now I feel more secure in here because it's a pocket within a pocket. So it fits in there. So if somebody really wanted to get in here, they have to open up 2 different compartments just to get my passport. So this bag doesn't offer a hidden passport or wallet pocket specifically, but all of the zippers on this bag are lockable, except for the quick access, and that's where we'll get into that in a second, but you can lock all of the bags. So not only is it going to require opening 1 zipper, 2 zipper to get to my passport, you can also close this up, and I can demonstrate for you here, and lock these zippers up. And one of my travel hacks is using these little micro S-beaners from Night Eyes. Now these aren't just micro S-beaners, they're locking micro S-beaners. So a little travel hack here where you don't have to carry a lock and key. You take this little Night Eyes locking carabiner, it has a switch in the middle. You can just put it over your zippers, lock them, and then you twist the little knob here on the carabiner, and now the carabiner itself is locked. So now you not only you have to unlock the carabiner, you have to undo it, zip, zip. So I really think this pocket is secure. So again, while I really love a hidden passport and wallet pocket somewhere on the bag, didn't really miss it here too much because of the security features of all of these zippers built into the bag. So again, the only pocket that's actually not lockable is the top quick access pocket. And of course, you don't want that one to be lockable because you want to easily be able to grab your sunglasses and things of that nature. So I can show you that pocket there. And even though this bag is still fully maxed out, that top pocket still has quite a bit of volume. It's going to be this pocket right up here, right at the front of the bag. And as you get into the overhead cam, you can see that it still has a great amount of volume. I have my sunglasses in here. I've got gum. I've got chapstick down in here. And it's also a place for you to clip your keys here to the integrated key leash. So again, Quicker access items easily found in there. If you have your smaller AirPods, it'd be a great place to put them as well. So again, no need to lock this one up, but it is PU coated as well, just like all the rest of the zipper tracks here, to give you some weather resistance. And as far as the laptop compartment in this bag, it also saw a small tweak in design area. And we still have the two dual zippers to get in here. And right now I have loaded up my 17-inch 3D printed Dell XP computer here. So this is a pretty chunky laptop, easily fits into the 40 liter, but it also fits into the 34 liter. Now, in addition to a laptop sleeve, you have a iPad sleeve right in front of it too. Now these are both going to be like microfiber lined, really soft, help protect your devices. They also suspended off of the bottom. Now I have a 3D printed iPad Pro 13-inch, and that's just to really give you an idea of what you can fit. So the largest devices, largest iPad, and the huge 17-inch Dell XP computer will fit in both of the 40 and 34 liter versions of the bag. And as far as organization, we still have that front pocket in the front there to put your larger charger bricks, your mouse, cables, cords, all the things to help you stay organized. And they got rid of that Velcro flap here that protected your devices. That's an area of improvement. So by removing that Velcro strap there, just eliminated an additional friction point and just overall cleaned up the laptop section of this bag. This is actually my preferred layout overall for a travel backpack. The main interior, clean, simple, just a big bucket, pack all your gear, don't bombard you with a lot of zipper pockets and side pockets and all the things that you don't really need or you could put to the exterior here. So this admin panel being able to open up all the way down. It's nice, clean, simple pocketing. Got rid of all of those card pockets, but still allowing you a big cavity on the outside for something like over-the-ear headphones. So I think overall layout for this bag is a nice blend of minimal, but also thoughtful organization. So I really enjoyed the layout of this bag. But here's the other side of that. Because Tortuga has thoughtfully put so much volume into this lid, allowing you to organize your gear, it can make this bag pack out extremely wide. So I am gonna put all the dimensions on the screen for you to get a better idea between the two different sizes. But this bag, not packed out, the 40 liter has a depth of 8 inches. But because there is so much volume in the lid and how much you can pack, right now, packed out for 2 weeks, it's sitting at 12 inches. So this can really affect the way you travel because it becomes a large travel bag. So while it looks sleek when it's not packed out, it can really grow on you. So this is kind of one of the hidden talents of like Evergood's bags, especially like the CTB line, where you don't think you can fit that much stuff in the pockets, but as you start loading that bag out, you'll quickly find out that that small 8-inch bag now is pushing 12, 13 inches in depth. So something to be aware of. It's a good thing to allow you to pack more stuff, but it also could allow you to overpack. So that's why I tend to limit myself to the 34 liters to really perfect what I'm bringing along. Just something to keep in mind that this can push well past some carry-on compliance depending on where you're traveling on the world. And there is no compression straps on this bag, so there is nothing here to help you compress all of your gear down at the same time. Now, one of the trade-offs to having a feature-rich travel backpack is going to be the weight. We're at 4.4 pounds on the 40 liter, and I think 3.6 here on the 34 liter version of the bag. So they are a little bit heavier than some of the other travel backpacks on the market, even though they are using like lighter, lightweight laminate materials. It just, with all the foam and features and zippers and everything these bags got going on, they are a little bit on the heavier side. At least they're a little bit more comfortable to carry so they can support the weight themselves. So it's just something to consider that these aren't the most lightweight travel backpacks on the market, but again, you're paying for that with features. One area Tortuga bags are really known for is comfort. Pretty much look at any YouTube review, go on Reddit, read the comments from people who've purchased different bags. Comfort has always been really supreme on their bags, and there's no change here. But looking at their harness system here, you have a nice blend of this breathable mesh here on the back panel, as well as on the back of the shoulder strap. It is a really good blend. It is thick. It is also firm, but it has a little bit of give to give you some comfort. It's just extremely comfortable harness system here. Now the 40 liter in particular is going to have an adjustable harness system, so the 40 liter can adjust to different torsos. I think that is an awesome feature. But the 34 liter is not going to have that feature. It's going to be a fixed harness. But regardless, if you go 34 or 40, I still thought both bags were extremely comfortable. Like, I mostly used the 34 liter and I didn't feel the need for an adjustable harness, but it is nice to have that on the 40 liter version. Now, besides the contour straps, you do have a couple of places to attach additional gear. You do have load lifters here at the top to help bring the top of the pack towards your back for additional comfort. And then at the bottom, to help you distribute the weight overall across the straps, you have an adjustable and removable sternum strap here. Now, one sneaky feature is on the 34 liter, the straps are actually stowable. Now, I know that this is not the first backpack to feature stowable straps. So it's just a buckle down at the bottom and you can undo the straps here, and then you can tuck them into the back of the harness system here. Like I said, this is not the first bag to ever do it, but this is a feature that I find really useful, especially when traveling by airline, is when I'm in that little breezeway about to get into the plane, I'll put my bag down, I'll stow the straps, and as I'm walking through the aisle, I'm carrying the bag like this, I'm carrying the bag like this to get through the aisle, and I can easily throw this up in the overhead bin and easily pull it out without getting hung up with any of the straps. And then when I'm deboarding or deplaning, and when I get back into that little breezeway, I can pull the straps out or reconnect. Pretty simple. This is a feature that I think is sneaky cool. Again, not the only bag to ever do it, but I love the fact that you can stow the straps away on the smaller version. Can't do so much on the larger version, so there is going to be those differences there. 40 liter adjustable harness, 34 liter fixed harness, but you can stow the straps. Now, one thing that is absent from both the 40 liter and the 34 liter is a luggage pass-through. There is no luggage pass-through here. And when I reviewed the Tortuga Superlight bag, that was probably the most common comment I got, is no luggage pass-through, hard pass for me. You have to keep in mind that these are carry-on size bags. They're big, 34 liters and 40 liters of capacity. This is your carry-on. I don't really see you pairing this with a carry-on. That is a lot of stuff to take. I think if you're carrying that much stuff, you're probably checking a bag already at that point. So just to show you how big these bags are and kind of put it in perspective, let's put a carry-on roller next to these two bags just so you can get an idea. So this is my carry-on from July. This is, I would say, a pretty standard size. So this is the 40 liter here, and this is the 34 liter here. So this is like 41 liters of capacity, so it's going to be more on par with this one. And this one's going to be a little bit more compliant internationally because of the smaller size. But as you can see, it's damn near the size of a carry-on suitcase. So I don't think we need a luggage pass-through, but man, so many different people commented that a luggage pass-through, not having one on a 34 liter bag was like a hard miss. So just keep that in mind. No luggage pass-through on either one. And lastly, to help you with the overall comfort of the bags, is they are equipped for a hip belt. So the 40 liter is going to come with the hip belt. You have to purchase the hip belt separate for the 34 liter. Now, I myself didn't find the need for the hip belt on either bag, but this is an upgraded and revamped hip belt itself, I believe. So it is nicely padded, just like what you see on the back panel here. And you have some additional pocketing on the hip belt itself. And this is another area of change for these bags. The actual attachment points for this hip belt have moved in a little bit on the bag. So what that allows is the hip belt is going to start a little bit more inward. Is going to cause a wrapping effect around. So not very flattering on the love handles, but it is going to hug your hip and hip bone area very nicely to help you distribute the weight off your shoulders and onto your back. Like 25 pounds, didn't feel the need for it, but I like that it comes with it on the 40 liter, and then the 34 liter, at least you have the option to add it. The only other thing to note on the back panel is that these newer V2 versions are coming with a slightly thicker frame sheet, and that's going to add to the back panel's overall stability, again, shoring up the overall comfort of the bag. Now, as far as this bag's actual comfort, yeah, sure, you have a lot of comfort-focused features, but this bag carried extremely well, and also the 34 liter here. Tortuga's really built their name on the back of comfort, pun intended, and there was really no change there. Now, I personally didn't see the need for the hip belt, but I like the option, and at least you have it. So, I mean, 10 out of 10 on comfort for me for the new V2 Pro backpack. I consider myself to be a true bag nerd. You'll find me on the Many Bagger subreddit, Carryology Classified. I've met many of you there and on Instagram. So anywhere there's bags involved in the internet, I'm usually poking around. And something that I've seen across many of those various channels is that you can't trust bag reviewers because they only say nice things to keep getting free bags. And I fully understand that sentiment. My response is that I only review stuff that I genuinely like and genuinely interested in. And believe it or not, these videos take about 7 to 10 hours to film, edit, and make the thumbnail and do all the things on my spare time away from my family. And I don't want to do that on a bag that I just hate. So when you start reviewing bags that are incredibly well built, so thoughtfully laid out, it becomes really hard to go in on a bag when you generally can't find things wrong with it. Like, I'm literally calling out the zipper pulls in this review as one of the things that I dislike. There are no counter pulls. The zipper pulls were tiny. Sure, the bag looks huge when you pack it out, but so will 1,000 other bags if you overstuff them. So these bags are really awesome, and I think that if you're looking for a full-fledged travel backpack, they're going to be a top contender right now on the market. Tortuga has really cleaned up a lot of the quirks from the V1 now with the V2, and if you're looking for traveling 2 weeks or plus, I definitely recommend the 40 liter. For everything else, and for you people with a smaller stature, shorter torso, the 34 liter is going to be a great option for you as well. Again, not a lot to hate about these backpacks, tremendously well built, and I think you're going to enjoy them as soon as you can get your hands on them. So these bags are going to launch at $350 for the 40 liter and $300 for the 34 liter. Now that's retail. If you do pick up these bags during the initial launch week, there is going to be a discount code. I'm going to put that information down in the description below, as well as an affiliate link if you want to support the channel. Now, if you have any more questions about the Tortuga Pro travel backpacks, either one, you can put those in the comment section. I respond to every single one. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. And if you like today's video and you want to see more like it, you want to hang out again in the future, please consider hitting like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. I do want to say thank you to Tortuga for sending these bags out for me to test and review. And if they weren't quite what you were looking for, maybe you're looking for something a little bit more lightweight in the same silhouette, I recently reviewed the Tortuga Super Light. You can check out that review right here. And if none of these bags really tickled your fancy, I have an entire playlist of travel bags, and hopefully you can find something there. But thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video, and I can't wait to see you on my next one.